Sure, but they haven't. They haven't.
Time is 5 p.m. Monday, February 26th, 2024, special board meeting budget.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, this is the mayor. We get ready to start the meeting, so.
Thank you, Mayor Bridge.
Okay. Yes. All right, we're going to call the special meeting to order. Would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Burns here. Trustee Carter.
Here.
Trustee Coleman.
Here.
Trustee Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Sapp.
Here.
Trustee Williams. Here.
Okay, before we get started, I put a memo in front of each trustee and that I'm going to read, that was given to me by our corporate authorities in regards to this meeting. And I understand that legislative attorney Mike McGrath also received a copy of this. It's from David Silverman, and it reads, Mike, we are aware that Trustee Burns has called a special meeting for the purpose of adopting a fiscal year 23-24 budget and appropriations ordinance. As you know, there are a number of statutory procedural steps that must occur before this ordinance can be adopted. Based on the information we have received and the recent activities surrounding the village's budget and appropriation process, we have a number of concerns because several steps have not been taken specifically. Appropriation Ordinance 65 ILCS 5-8-2-9, public inspection. The proposed ordinance must be made conveniently available for public inspection at least 10 days before its adoption. Number 2, the public hearing. At least one public hearing must be held with at least 10 days public notice in a newspaper publishing in the village, or if none, then in a newspaper of general circulation in the village. And number 3, ordinance approval. The ordinance must be adopted in the first quarter of the fiscal year. Based on the information we have received, these 3 statutory requirements for the trustees' alternative budget and appropriation ordinance have not been followed. Never mind that they are set to adopt the ordinance in the 4th quarter of the current fiscal year, since the trustees rejected our advice to change the fiscal year to January 1 to January 31st. At this stage, we realize that the trustees have the votes to both adopt their alternative budget and appropriation ordinance, as well as override a mayoral veto, but we feel it necessary to express our concerns nevertheless. We also understand that the trustees' alternative budget and appropriation eliminates several open administrative positions and proposes to reduce the salaries of other administrative staff. However, at least 2 of the administrative positions subject to a salary reduction have employment contracts with the village that the village has been regularly paying. Insofar as the budget and appropriation ordinance is passed on Monday with the salary reductions, the trustees will have to adopt a budget amendment restoring these salaries to honor the employment contracts. Our preference is for the village to operate in an interim appropriations and a budget adopted in August 2023. For the trustees to call off Monday's meeting and subsequently sit with the mayor, village administrator, and finance director in budget workshops to prepare a fiscal year 2024-25 budget acceptable to both sides. This was given to me from the corporate authorities. Okay, moving on. Madam Clerk, I'll ask for a roll call. Oh, I'm sorry. You did, didn't you? Okay. Public comment. All questions and comments shall be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on any matter concerning the agenda item only. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate, counter replies, rebuttals. I will answer all questions once all comments have been concluded. That mic on? Okay. Is it green? Okay, yeah. It's on.
All right, David Smith, resident. Number one, just a comment first. I'm glad that the lawyers actually stated for the record that this meeting is being held illegally. And shame on anybody that signed off on this, because all of you all should be aware of your job responsibilities and the statutes that you were voted in office to uphold, and you're basically breaking that right now, so shame on all of you. And it's very embarrassing for me as a resident to have to live in a city that's being compared to Dalton, and that's no shade to Dalton, but you guys need to get your act together and really try to take care of business in a more professional manner. Number one on my list, since we're talking about the budget, the trustees wanted a $1,000 allowance. You guys are probably going to vote that in if you take this illegal step tonight, but I personally feel like it should be prorated. There's no reason you should get a $1,000 allowance to frivolously do whatever you want just for 2 months. Prorated, that would come out to $166. That seems a little bit more fair, especially considering this how you want to cut everybody else's salary. I don't see why you need such a big increase just for 2 months. Next thing, how will the lack of, and the lawyer already covered this, how would the lack of salary increases impact the numbers that have already been paid out? How do you take away something that's already been given out? Somebody needs to answer that for me. My main thing that I want to speak on tonight, while we're talking about finances, and I don't know if this is allowable, so stop me if I'm going too far, but $9,000 was spent in December with Olson and Stirk regarding a lawsuit that the trustees filed against the mayor and the village administrator. No one has mentioned that to this date. The lawsuit wasn't discussed with Trustees Carter and Trustees Johnson. I want to know, specifically seeing as how you four trustees constantly call the mayor a dictator, why are you guys taking dictator-like steps and making decisions on behalf of the whole board without even consulting them? Because that's the textbook definition of being a dictator. There's no explanation. The public, we don't know anything. I know because I do my research. But the public has a right to know why you guys are spending $9,000 to $10,000 a month on something, number one, that you refuse to even notify us about, and number two, when you lose it, who's going to foot the bill? Us. And to my knowledge, you have no case. So at the very minimum, you owe us an explanation as to why you're spending all of this money so frivolously. Next thing. Why are Trustees Carter and Johnson constantly left out of all of these discussions and decisions? Somebody explain that to me. Trustee Williams is constantly screaming about, we need to all be informed. Why won't you guys inform the other two people? Forget about your majority. Do what's right, because that's what you guys always sit up here and claim. We're doing what's right, we're doing what's right. Well, do what's right. Who cares if they don't agree with you? At least let them know. That's the right thing to do. And you guys, you need a whole lot of help, because we're about to be on the news just like Dalton, and you're all going to be sitting here looking crazy.
Oh, Reverend Donna Freeman, good evening, everyone. Just three quick questions. One, I keep hearing everybody saying they have to be fiscally responsible to the villagers. What I am asking each of you, we are accumulating law bills on both sides. And when I read some of them, there are several calls from trustees to, so can y'all at least, if you're gonna use my taxpayer dollars, use them accountably and responsibly, no disrespect intended, but it's a waste of money. Two, if we had paid people for the work that they had did, we would not be the taxpayers would not have to pay an exorbitant amount of money. So fiscally responsible, I have a question if that's actually taking place. And 3, every video I watch, and respect to the seats each of you hold, every last single one of you, it is tearful, it is shameful, it is disrespectful, and it saddens my heart because honestly it doesn't appear that you're representing the taxpayers. It sometimes seems like you're representing your own personal agenda. And lastly, this is a personal note. I lost my mother this past week, and I want to thank the clerk for making calls and checking. That was most kind of you, Madam Clerk. God bless you.
Ready? Jeffrey Burns, resident, 25 years. I'm going to ask the same question I asked last week since the question went unanswered. That question was, Mayor, if you give a department head a raise and at the end of the fiscal year they do the budget and they remove the raise that you gave the department head that you did not bring before the board, is that called a cut? Which was the question I asked last week that did not get answered. 2, my second question is, can one trustee call a special meeting? That's my second question. And 3, when it comes to a budget being approved, does the finance department make up the budget in and of themselves without the approval of the board? Thank you.
Okay. All right, most of them questions were actually comments. There was one question, can one trustee call a special meeting? No. It has to be at least 3 trustees. You have to sign the paper, and you have to present it to the clerk, and go from there, but no one trustee can call a special, no one trustee can call a meeting concerning village business. Okay. For the year 2023, 2024.
Mr. Mayor?
Okay. Well, I'm not asking.
We're ready?
I am. Do you have something to hand out, or are you just going to talk about it?
No, we don't have anything to hand out. We're ready to, I motion to pass the, get ready to pass the budget for the 2023-24 fiscal year. And I want to be able to say one thing. I want to address something very, very important. And I think, that's fine. So we want to get ready to pass this budget. May I have a second, please? Second. Thank you, sir.
Basic Robert's Rules of Order. Jesus.
First of all, I was not on number 6, so I'm going to explain that one to you. I was on number 5 on your agenda. Your number 5 on your agenda states presentation of proposed budget and appropriations for the fiscal year 2023-24. That's what you're.
Yes.
But you're asking for a motion. That's not right here. That's not. I'm asking for the presentation. So you're not going to present the budget to the people?
Yes, I am. Yes, we are.
When?
We can ready to present the budget.
But you asked for a motion.
To present the budget.
No, that's not what you asked for. You asked for a motion to pass, and you cannot do that.
Let me clarify. A motion to present.
You don't need a motion to present.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you. So I can go straight into the discussion.
You can go into the presentation.
Yes, discussion, presentation,
Okay.
all the same difference.
That's why I asked if you have anything to present.
Yes, we do. We, the corporate authorities, want to present the budget, the 2023-24 budget year. We want to make sure that we heard the mayor read off something from Attorney Silverman with the law firm of Ansel and Glink. I also want to make mention of that as well. Ansel and Glink made it very clear that they are aware at this stage and realize that the trustees have the votes both to adopt our alternative budget and appropriations ordinance, as well as override any mayoral vetoes. But they feel necessary to express their concerns. We do thank Ansel and Glink or Mr. Silverman for expressing his concerns, but we will move forward in, as he says, having the ability to pass this budget. So thank them for their concern, but we will move forward according to his instructions. He also says that they understand that the corporate authorities and administrative have the opportunity to change the budget from our fiscal year. Our fiscal year right now is April 30th. It ends and it starts May 1st. We opted not to change our physical budget. He said we have the opportunity to opt out, and we did. The physical budget has been this way for over 25 plus years, and I don't think it's necessary, or the corporate authorities don't think that it's necessary to change our budget, because the mayor and the administrative area chose to give us a budget 10 months into the year. So since the mayor and his administration chose to give us a budget 10 months into the year, we accepted that budget, and this is the fiscal year that we will decide to make this budget and complete the budget. So again, it is a preference of Mr. Silverman, but again, he also stated that we have this is our time, our choice to change this budget. This is legal. Now, Mr. Smith says that we're doing things illegal. We have followed every guideline. As of from December the 9th, when we first received the budget from the Finance Department, we had a committee meeting we reviewed and discussed. We also received a budget from the Finance Department on January 29th. We had a committee meeting we reviewed and discussed. We also had a budget meeting on January 31st. We reviewed the budget and discussed. Now, this is where we are. At the January 31st committee meeting, it was agreed upon by the corporate authorities and also Mayor Derek Burgess that that was the budget that was accepted by the corporate authorities, accepted in the meeting, and accepted to be published in the newspapers, accepted to be heard at the hearing, and also accepted to be placed for a 10-day review. The corporate authorities has met every single need. Now, the illegal thing that has happened has come through the mayor administration and the mayor himself, who has taken the corporate authorities budget out of the hands of the clerk. She placed two budgets at the front desk, which again was illegal, because the budget of February the 1st was not voted on, it was not discussed, that was handed to us by the finance director. That budget was not discussed. There was no meeting called. The corporate authorities know nothing about that budget. So that budget, again, has been vetoed, because that budget, we have no knowledge of it and we have no review of it. So we cannot pass or discuss anything that the corporate authorities has not discussed in committee. Thank you for that as well. So now, we will commence to pass the budget of January 31st, and it has gone through the proper steps. The clerk of Village of Sauk Village has made sure that it has done so. Now, the mayor removed the budget from the front desk that was sitting there for review according to the publication and according to the rules and according to Illinois state law, according to what Mr. Smith doubt, but it was sitting up front. The corporate authorities made sure that it was up front. Now, if the mayor and his administration move that budget, we have absolutely nothing to do with it, but it was posted up front for a 10-day review for our our residents. Speak to your mayor if you have concerns as to anything being removed from that front office and that front desk for you as our residents to review. If they moved it, you talk to the mayor, not to the trustees, because we did our job and we did our due diligence. So now, we're not going to take a lot of time and energy and effort because we have done all of that already. We are going to move forward in passing this budget because we do have a new budget coming up in 2 months, a new fiscal year, and we're ready to move on that so we can get on with the village of the business of the corporate authorities, okay? As well as Trustee Johnson, Trustee Carter is in every single board meeting and committee meeting that we all are in. Understand that. Every information that we're privy to, those trustees are also privy to.
That's not true.
As I have the floor, point of order.
I don't care.
Point of order.
When you say my name, that's not
point
true.
Of order. Point
I'm
of
letting
order.
you know.
Point of order.
So don't
Trustee.
say my name.
Point of order.
Because you're doing all
Point
this
of order,
crazy stuff,
Trustee Johnson.
and you're doing
Point
it.
of order,
No one else is
Trustee
doing it
Johnson.
but you and
Point
Ms.
of
Bush.
order, Trustee Johnson.
I don't care.
Point
Say my
of-
name then.
we understand that you don't care. That's why you don't vote. That's why
I
you
do
have
vote.
no words.
See, again,
Because we understand
what
you
I'm
don't
talking
care.
about. I do
But
vote.
point of order,
I'm
Trustee.
here every meeting.
You will have a turn to speak when
I
it's
don't
your turn.
care. Don't say my name then. Because you're nonsense.
So as we
That's
were
it. That's
speaking-
all.
As we were speaking,
Respect that.
as we were
Keep your comments
as
of my
we
name
were
out of your mouth on
I
this
am
board.
going to continue. I have the mic and I have the floor.
We're going to take a 5-minute recess. Thank you.
Yeah, they don't stop.
No, 5 minutes.
I ain't gonna take a recess and we have a quorum.
You done did that crap
We're taking a 5-minute recess.
All you gonna do is give us a legal,
We have a quorum.
a lawsuit. That's all you gonna
We have a quorum.
do. Dum dum.
And that's not acceptable.
I don't care.
None of this is acceptable.
I don't care.
I want the motion to have.
It's acceptable.
I want the motion to have this gym removed. We want the motion to have this gym.
Have me removed so I can sue the whole village.
You ain't
Have me
mayor.
removed so I can sue the whole village. I've done nothing wrong.
This is just.
Violate my First Amendment rights. Do it. Violate my First Amendment rights. Do it. Do it right now. So you can be attached to another lawsuit. I wish you would.
Go back there with your attorney.
Go in the back and study, read, comprehend. Video.
Trustee Sapp.
All of y'all are stupid.
4th grade education.
State statutes are written at 8th grade level and you all can't even comprehend it. Shameful.
Come on, I'm here.
Sapp, are you still here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can read it now. Maybe it's
You gotta take this trustee.
Yeah, let them talk, because I know my rights. And comment on my video so I can put a DMCA plan and put it down. I should have been a lawyer. And if you're uneducated about that, what that means, Google it and see if I don't have your post taken down in 10 minutes. They don't want me in here because they don't want me to. That's all. And I got enough courage to say something because I can read. They got me.
Did y'all get called to the back, talk to the legislative floor?
No, we didn't get called to the back. As I told you, just like I said, I didn't lie. It's only Williams and Burns always talking to the attorneys. Data board.
And the mayor.
And the mayor. I'm sorry, yeah, you're right, and the mayor. I ain't never in my life seen no government work like this ever.
They're actually going through with it. I wish you could have had your camera go out there today. Yes, there's a video being made right now. There's actually two being made. I will have access to both. And I would love to invite you to the meeting this upcoming Tuesday. No, we're really going to attempt to pass this budget. It's unbelievable. I didn't think they were going to allow it to happen either. They don't care. Because of my preference for, I know he just retired, but because of my preference for Tom Skilling, that's why I called WGN first. Yeah. Same stuff I mean, that should be removed from the meeting. And they want to violate my First Amendment rights. In addition to the fact that they just broke about 3 state statutes. Just wait. I will be forwarding you some second video after the meeting. Okay. None whatsoever. It has never been placed in the front at Village Hall. Not at all. They never had a public hearing on this particular budget.
We're going to come back to the meeting from recess. So I ask again,
Trustee 1, 2.
Is there a presentation or proposed budget appropriation?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I'm asking that.
Yes, there is. So what we want to do today, as we stated earlier, the trustees want to approve our proposed budget. I went through
Proposed budget?
the budget that we have before us.
These 2 pages?
Everyone had a copy
I
of,
didn't ask that. I said, is there things that change between now and then?
no, nothing has changed with the budget of the trustees.
Do you have anything that you're talking about?
We are going to pass our budget.
You can't, wait a minute, trustee. I know your lawyer's right here. You cannot say we're going to pass.
Mr. Mayor,
Because now you're saying what you're about to do and then you vote at the
we are in the process of discussing the budget that is about to be passed this evening.
How do you
Now,
know it's going to pass?
Mr. Mayor, let me continue, please. You
I'm just
asked me to, but you asked me to continue, so may I please
Before
continue?
you get, I was trying to tell you before you get started, I'm here with corporate counsel in regards to this whole agenda. So, sir, go ahead from Maslow's Lane.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. My name is Eugene Bolotnikoff. I am the village attorney. It's the position of the village attorney that in order for a member of the board to make a motion, they must be called upon by the mayor. Moreover, it's the position of the village attorney that a vote on the alternate appropriation ordinance would violate state law because it would not be done pursuant to statutory procedures.
Okay. So everyone's clear. I'm not asking for a motion to approve the budget or the appropriations for the year 2023-24. So at this point in time, I don't see the need to go any further.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
I don't see a need to go any further.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, you told me that I could continue
No, I didn't tell
once
you
the corporate,
anything.
yes, you did.
No,
You
I
said you're gonna let him go first. The corporate attorney, and we have the legislator attorney that will also speak.
So we're gonna, okay, fine, we got plenty of money here, so the village, we got plenty of money. Go ahead, no, it's not,
It doesn't, our corporate test attorney will speak, thank you. Thank you.
No, first of all, I'm not through. You can call me dictator, whatever you want to. But making those innuendos and all whatever you call yourself doing is not gonna change the fact that we cannot, and I will not ask for a motion to approve a budget that hasn't been put out there at the proper time. Go ahead, Mr. McGrath.
Thank you, Mayor.
back a few steps.
Yeah, talk
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to go back a few steps to one, about calling this meeting. The call sheet was signed off on by 3 trustees, so it's a properly called special board meeting. 2, I was not at last week's meeting, but apparently there was a budget up for vote, which is interesting because Attorney Silverman takes issue with amending or changing the budget within the 4th quarter, which clearly last week was the 4th quarter. We're in the last 2 months of the fiscal year. So that really is not a tenable position. What the board is doing today, or what they seek to do, depending on how the vote goes, is to pass the budget for this fiscal year, which only has 2 months left. There's never been a budget passed, as I know, for this fiscal year. And I can tell you that I directed, at least the trustees that I've spoken to start the budget process for next fiscal year within the next month or 2, and also to work on the appropriations ordinance. The appropriations ordinance is not up tonight to be voted on. Attorney Silverman is correct. There's a number of hoops you have to go through. The village just passed the tax levy, as all municipalities have, and it was filed with Cook County. I believe yours was filed around December 26th or the 27th. But you've been operating for 10 months without any type of a budget. When that happens, the village operates off of the preceding budget, which was from the prior fiscal year. So that's the actual budget that the board is, or the village, I should say, is operating under, unless a new budget is proposed and passed. I've been told that the budget that the board is presenting tonight was discussed at village board meetings on 1 or 2 different dates, that they asked for that budget to be placed at the front counter to be made available for the public. I saw some emails that the village clerk was presented with 2 budgets, the one that the board discussed at a meeting, Mayor, when you were also here, and then I believe that the finance director made changes to that proposed budget, and that proposed budget that the finance director prepared is $4 million more than the budget that the village board put together at the village board meeting, and the one that they had asked and requested to be placed for public view at the front counter. I don't know what happened, if it was there for a day, 1 hour, 2 days, or if it was reviewed by anyone. But what everyone needs to understand is that the village does not operate under the budget system. The budget for the village is just an internal working document. It is the suggestion and request, and the budget can be amended from time to time throughout the fiscal year, as long as it's done at a public meeting. But it doesn't have to be filed with Cook County, the state of Illinois. It doesn't get filed with anyone, unlike the tax levy. The budget that the corporate authorities goes through and decides to spend this many dollars in public works, this many dollars for the police department, et cetera, that's a working internal document, and that is by your village code and state statute. So with that, I believe the board, whoever wants to chime in on the presentation of the proposed budget that is going to be discussed on tonight, can chime in. But I completely also disagree with what council said, that unless recognized, that the chair can stop any motion from being made. That is against Robert Rules of Order. Otherwise, any mayor, any chair of any meeting could choose and pick on what items should be discussed and what items should be voted on. And if we want to brief that issue, we'll brief that issue. But a mayor, a president of a municipality cannot just skip over items that have been posted, especially on a special meeting agenda that's been called by the Board of Trustees, and get around that vote. That's just not how it works. I completely disagree, and again, we can get a binding opinion from the Attorney General's office to that effect.
Okay, with that being said, first of all, I don't know where you got the $4 million more than what was presented. I never saw a budget that's $4 million. I never saw anything that said that the budget that the trustees put together was $4 million less than what was put together by the finance department. And then also, you said that the mayor cannot stop a motion or cannot stop a motion to be, I guess, presented. That's why we go to court. We went to court last time because of something similar to this. And I guess we're in court now about something else that's similar. So I guess we'll end up going, I guess, for this. So I guess, you know, as far as passing the budget, it seems like we have enough money for the council, but we're going to keep doing that. But I am tonight, and I guess we'll end up going to court. I am tonight not going to recognize the motion to pass a budget that, first of all, was not made.
Yes.
Are you going to run this meeting? Because that's what you're doing. You're telling the trustees that they should go ahead and make the motion. I'm not accepting that. I'm just letting you know that. I did make it a record, so therefore, I'm not going to accept that.
We make a motion.
You can make whatever you want. I'm not accepting that.
We make a motion to get ready to pass this budget.
I
May have a
second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Are you giving the other trustees an opportunity to speak, Mr. Mayor?
No, you have to just.
Well, I'd like to be recognized, Mr. Mayor.
Seems to me that you all are running whatever, so, you know, you're not listening to what I have to say. I made the statement. I told you why I made the statement. I told you that it's not correct to pass a budget that was not put out there at least 10 days in advance. That's what I'm asking for. But now you seem that you want to do whatever you want to do, so in that aspect right then and there, I'm not going any further with this. I'm not going any further with this meeting. And no, you know you're not. No, you're not. You're telling me, and your lawyer's telling me to go. You're telling you guys to go ahead and do what you're going to do, even though our law firm said one thing. Like I said, we'll be in court. So at that point, at this point in time, I'm asking for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Trustee, please continue.
Yes.
I'm asking for a motion to adjourn. And we'll move the second.
I move that we approve the budget in the amount of $16,339,000. I move that we.
I want a second.
Okay.
I'll give you a second.
Okay. No, we're not giving a second to adjourn. We can't adjourn without.
Can we continue the meeting with a quorum?
Still got to vote on it.
Okay, Trustee, we're going to continue the meeting.
Still have to vote on it.
We have a quorum. We have a quorum. We're going to continue.
understand.
Thank you. We
You
have a
still
quorum.
have to vote on the motion to
Yes,
dismiss.
if Madam Clerk won't recognize it, then we will.
Yes.
Where's our, okay. No, you don't have to, I'll do it.
They're going to still sit up there and vote.
We still have a quorum. So
Yes. The meeting's not adjourned.
Proceed.
Okay, Ms. Clerk.
There was a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. We didn't do a roll call because people left.
No, you have to vote on it.
But the little, oh shoot.
We need to move forward because we have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
Yes,
So
we
we're going
do.
to move forward. We have a quorum.
And I'm not going to be a part of this, so Trustee Williams, I'm going to ask that you assume the recording effective at 5:43 p.m. I mean, you can keep the recorder. You can keep the recorder if you like, but I'm not going to be a party to this because it is outside of parliamentary procedures.
I understand. Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the floor to pass in the budget in the amount of $16,339,000. We have a motion and a second. Now I'm going to call the roll. Trustee Coleman.
Yes.
Who's the mayor pro tem?
A motion, Trustee Burns, motion. Excuse me, we're in our meeting now.
Do we need a mayor pro tem since the mayor walked out of the room?
I'll be one.
Okay, can we elect Trustee Coleman as the mayor pro tem?
Thank you.
Second motion.
Okay, I motion, Trustee Burns, motion to pass the budget.
No, we have to make him the mayor.
Second. Okay, I motion to make Trustee Coleman mayor pro tem.
Second.
Thank you.
Is that good enough? Let's do a roll call. I'm making Trustee Coleman the mayor pro tem.
Okay.
Trustee Williams, yes.
Trustee
Burns.
Yes.
Trustee Sapp. Trustee Sapp. Trustee Coleman.
Yes.
Okay, you are officially the mayor pro tem.
Thank you.
Who was the, ask for the motion in a second.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the budget before us, to approve the budget presented by the Board of Trustees.
Second.
Okay, so that's on the second?
Yes.
We'll call the roll. Trustee
No, no.
Burns.
Yes.
I entertain the motion. Someone has to.
I second.
Okay.
So you entertain the motion, she seconded it.
Yes.
Trustee Burns.
Yes.
Trustee Sapp.
Yeah.
Hold on. Of $16,339,000. She made the motion. I will second it. So it's Trustee Burns and Trustee Williams.
That's correct.
So now the vote.
Now we can vote. Assuming the role of clerk, Trustee Burns.
Yes.
Trustee Sapp.
Yes.
Trustee Coleman.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes.
Okay, it's been moved and second. It's been approved. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you. You're going to also adjourn the meeting, sir?
Okay, I'm going to entertain.
Any general comments?
General comments.
Yeah, I think I have a couple general comments. I have a couple general comments.
Okay, Trustee Williams.
Public comments has already been had. Public comments are over.
Order.
Public comments are over.
Order.
Public comments are over. Thank you.
So my comments, public comment is over.
Y'all, nobody's following. You know what? Nobody's following the law. No way. So I'm not asking you. Let me finish. I'm not right this minute.
We have corporate authority, the corporate attorney.
You know what? And I'm paying for that corporate. I'm paying for him out of my tax dollars that you keep using up. So since you are using my, girl, you can't out-talk me. So can y'all please wait and do this in right and decent order instead of having a January 6th.
5-minute recess.
Instead of having another January 6th in South Village, can y'all do things decent and in order? Thank you.
If it moves in second, let me hear the roll call. Roll call to adjourn? Yes.
Trustee Sapp, to adjourn.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Yes.
It's been moved in second.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting is now adjourned. Good night, everybody.
Public building at a public meeting. Shut up.
The public meeting is outside.
No, listen. You're still in the public meeting in a public building. Oh, God.
Nobody get paid.